Hey guys, Jack Griffin here, and welcome to a new video. Yeah, I'm basically just trying to get all the beast reviews out the way so that I'll be up to date. And yes, I've got all the current series and I've read them all. I'm finally, after all these years, up to date with when the books release, which is going to be just amazing. But anyway, welcome to Beast Quest Beast Review Series 27, The Ghost of Karadin. Now, this series, if you'd have asked me about a year or two ago, what did I think of this series? I would have said that it was okay. But then if you'd asked me a bit later, I would have said it's decent. But what do I think now? Now, I do think this series is a good series. But it does have its problems, which we'll get to in a minute. But just before we get into the story, don't forget to go subscribe to Adam, Ferns and Lucas Green. They do amazing Beast Quest content, as well as other fun stuff that I think you guys will enjoy. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, what's the story? The story is actually really good. Basically, a ghost called Karadin, who was a former long-lost master of the beasts. Well, not long-lost. Well, yeah, forgotten master of the beasts, has come to not only reawaken other beasts, but get stronger, so that not only can he come back to life and be solid, but so that he can awaken an ancient beast called Gargantua, so that he can take over the kingdom. Now, Karadin is a really good villain. Like, he is definitely a top 5 Beast Quest villain, and he definitely has the creepiest design. He definitely is the villain with the creepiest design. You may have also just seen the beast, but yeah, just that there. He has such a badass design, and yeah, he's a great villain. I was really happy that this series has a great villain, and honestly, if I had to say, he's actually the best part of the series. And I'm sure Lucas and Adam agree with me that Karadin is one of the best Beast Quest villains. But anyway, yeah. So he's come back, and it's all connected to a ring which he wears on his hand. Now, and there also is a bit more. So I've got some serious storytelling. So a long time ago, Karadin and his brother Loris were masters of the beasts, and they went to go fight Gargantua. They managed to defeat Gargantua, but Gargantua got away. Karadin went to go finish her off, but Gargantua made a deal with him that if he kills Loris, and if he basically takes the ring, he will have unlimited power and he will be the best. Now, Karadin is, a bit of a douchebag. And he basically, the best way to describe him. So, he gets corrupted by Gargantua. He goes and murders his brother. Now, there are 2 accounts of how it happened in the series, but yeah, which I like. I like how it's like there's like you don't know which one's real, because Loris, which I'll get into in a minute, states that Karadin just outright just went and killed him, and he not wanting to fight tried to retreat, but Karadin just stabbed him in the back. But later on, he changes the story and says that Karadin came out all peaceful, and then sneak attacked him and murdered him. But yeah, the king, people got suspicious because Karadin wasn't really mourning his brother. They found out about the Ring of Gargantua. They made Karadin go to a village where the king's champion was waiting. Karadin got his hand with the ring chopped off. He was exiled. And by the way, now I must say, Karadin is a prince. He and his brother Loris were princes, and their father was King Mandor, who was an ancient king. Yeah, there's a lot of lore. I need to get it out. So, Karadin's exiled. He wants to get the ring back, but he dies before doing so, and he becomes a spectre, and he's just wandering the earth. During a dig up at King Hugo's castle, the hand is discovered with the ring on it, and Karadin comes to claim it. So, like Anna said, he wants to do all this, and he wants to awakens these beasts, but also take their power. So he can awaken Gargantua, they can rule Avantia, and he will be the most powerful. So it's up to Tom, Eleanor, Storm, and Silver, yes, I'll get to that on terms of compliments I do give this series. This series is up to them to go stop Karadin. And there you go. That is the whole story, and all the lore is out of the way. And they are also accompanied, or they get help from, by the ghost of Prince Loris. But also, the more Karadin, the more power he gets, the more physical body he becomes, which I thought was really cool. And like I said, one compliment I can give this series is 7 minutes, lot of lore. One thing I can give this series, honestly, is that having a quest where it's the original gang just in Avantia going on a quest, it brings back the old days. We get to see Tom, Eleanor, Storm and Silver back on it again. After not seeing Storm and Silver, both of them accompany them, since Series 15, which is a lot. And Silver especially has not been on a quest since Series 15. Storm's been used in 21, 24, but that's about it. But yeah, so let's get into the beasts. And we'll talk about the few complaints, but let's get into it. So as you probably saw, the first beast is Gorog the Fiery Fiend. Design is a 7 out of 10. I really like the fact that it's a Varkul. Or for those who don't know, we're the ancient tusked hyenas which have been in Series 10, and Anoret. It's really nice that we have a beast that is one, and the design with the fire, the stripes, and the tusks and the red eyes, really intimidating. Oh god. Abilities, I gave a 6. Sharp teeth, sharp claws, fire resistant, of course. Well, yeah, fire resistant. Sharp teeth, sharp claws, sharp tusks. Like I said, well, resistant to fire. Is basically hot to the touch, so can't touch him. And also, which is the big one, the main one. Anywhere he looks, he can create a fire. So if he was to look at a patch of grass, it would just start going on fire randomly, which is, I think, is pretty cool. And the fight I gave a 4. It wasn't really that long. It was nothing special, but basically Gorog he created a giant forest fire, and Tom and Eleanor climbed up a tree. That smoke was pretty much choking them. Eleanor nearly pretty much was choking and was struggling to breathe, which I thought it was really tense, which I really liked. And it basically ended with Gorog getting a tree trunk fall on him, knocking him into this acid swamp lake thing, and he basically just sinks to the bottom and dissolves. Yeah, it weren't nothing special, but it was an alright starting fight, and it sets it well. This mostly, of course, the biggest thing to take away from this book is the story. which, yeah, sets up really well. And the beast is just a fine starting beast, which is not bad. Compared to Technos, it does have a weaker design, but it's not bad. I think abilities-wise, yeah, has better abilities than Technos, but in terms of... Oh, pardon me. In terms of design and fight, I would give it to Technos, but still. Total for Gorog is 17 out of 20. It's a fine starting, but like I said, really the story is the main thing, and it does set it up well. However, the only thing letting it down is that apart from the fire ability, there's nothing much else that really stands out about Gorog, apart from the fact that his design and the fact that he's a Varkul. So yeah, overall not bad. Right, moving on to the second book, we have Devourer the Death Fish. And that light, I swear down, you can see the light just reflecting on it. I hate it. I never had problems with this in the old times. Can we just move it there? God's sake. Okay, I'll just leave it there. Pock. Here we go. Right, design for Devourer is a 7 out of 10. Pock. Is it the weakest... I was going to say, is it the weakest design? Yes, but then that's what I used to think. But then I'm like, no, it is not. It's far from the weakest design. I love the 2 mouths, the multiple eyes from the fish, the spikes, the blue. It just looks really, really intimidating. Pock. The abilities I gave an 8. Massive improvement over Gorog's. Pock can swim, is a swarm form. So it has a swarm form, it can go... It's basically a giant piranha, Pock. And it has a swarm of piranhas, it can make Devourer scatter into the swarm. Pock. Can swim, of course. And so that's a big one. Pock. Like I said, she's very resistant, very tough. Has spikes, but she can breathe out of water, but as long as she's still in the water. And the biggest one, she can control the lake that she's in. She can freeze it when she at her will, and she can melt it at her will. And this helped when she trapped Arcta in the ice, which, yeah, we do get to see some of the beasts return, for example, Tagus. And Karadin actually corrupted Tagus, but thankfully they were able to uncorrupt Tagus, which was nice. I like how beasts are making cameos. Like I said, it feels like the old days when the beasts came to help. And the fight I gave a 7. It was a good fight. I really did enjoy it, and I like the fact that Silver got to help. Silver played a really big part, which is great redemption for Silver. It basically had Silver jump over Devourer, go up to get him, and Tom threw this ice... Well, I sound like a really small child. And Tom threw an ice shard, threw it at Devourer's throat, which not only sliced at her, knocked her back onto the ice, where she basically just died from the lack of oxygen, because she can't breathe above water. It's a fish. And one thing I like about each of these beasts is that after they're defeated, Karadin just takes all their power, absorbs them, and basically becomes not only stronger, but he becomes more, like I said, more physical and more flesh body. But yeah, overall, Devourer is a big improvement over Gorog and Pock. It's funny because I originally thought this beast was going to be the worst of the series. Oh boy, I was so wrong. And as you know, you all know how much I love my water beasts. So Devourer is one of the best. And if you watch the Christmas special, you'll know that this was in my top 50 Beast Quest books. I do really love this book. And the story, like I said, was really great. Had Arcta, had Tagus. Really good. Total for Devourer, 22 out of 30. Great second book. And Oh my goodness, right. I need to rethink this. It's a good addition to the water beasts. Enough said. Pock. Right. Third book, we have... What the flip? I couldn't pronounce his name for a minute. Raptex the Sky Hunter. The ability... I've not held a book like this in a long time. The design I gave a 7. This is the first Griffin beast we've seen since Big Rash. I love how it looks more like a traditional Griffin. I like the tongue out. I love like the ruffled feathers. I love the shot of Raptex's mouth open with Tom on top. The wings look really great. I don't know if you can hear that creaking noise. I have no idea what that is, but oh my god. Anyway, Pock. Like I said, I love his eyes. Oh god. I love his beak and I love his tongue, and I just look how intimidating he looks. Great. Pock. Abilities I gave a 4. Pock. He can fly, he's really strong. Kind of. Has sharp claws, sharp teeth, and he can screech, which can hurt people's ears. Pock. Okay. Not bad. The fight I gave a 1 out of 10. Pock. Yeah, I think it's time to talk about those problems I have with the series. And spoilers, a lot of them come from this book. And that's because of the beasts fight. You know how much I love my Beast Quest fights. I need them to be long. I don't need them to be short. If there's barely a fight, you know what happened to Nanook and Sora. This beast has a little tiny bit of a fight. But that's it. This beast does not have a fight. Pretty much does not have a fight. And they also do some pointless stuff in this. So I'm here looking forward to a good fight between Raptex and Tom. Which, by the way, the cover, that fight, I wish... That's a single picture. I wish that could have been the fight. But no. Now Raptex goes to a village and causes chaos and rampages. Okay. Which you may be thinking, but Jack, in Technos, he did the same thing, and you really like that. Yes, I did. But here's the thing. That lasted for a good amount of time. And that was unique to that beast. Raptex destroys part of the village. But that's it. And Tom just like knocks him out of the sky, does his shield slam, which he did in Plexor. And yeah, so, and then Tom then says to Karadin, okay, let's fight. Which I'm thinking, okay, if we're not going to get a Raptex fight, we'll at least get a cool Karadin fight. And they spend about a chapter and a half setting up this fight. And then just as they're about to do it, Karadin goes, actually, why do I need to fight you? I'm really powerful. Raptex, kill him. So they wasted a chapter and a half setting up a fight that doesn't even happen. In that time, we could have gotten a fight with Raptex. It probably would have been possibly, I say possibly because of Goro, possibly could have been the weakest fight of the series, but you know what? At least it was a fight. You all know how much I love my Griffin beasts. I love Vigrash. And when I saw this series, I was really excited for looking at these designs. I had predictions that this was going to be my new favorite Beast Quest series. I thought wrong. I really did think wrong. I mean, it's a good series, but it's far from being the best. And out of all the beasts, Raptex was the one I was most looking forward to. And then I watched Adam's review. And then I watched Lucas's review. And I'm thinking, oh no. Well, considering I'm the one that normally likes beasts that they don't like, I'm sure I'll like it. No, I agree with them. Why, if you're not going to have a fight with a really badass beast, have a fight with an equally badass, well, a more badass villain. Set it up, but then they don't fight anyway. And they've wasted time. But yeah, then Raptex comes back. And no, it's not a challenge. It really is not a challenge to beat him. All Tom does is put a mast over his all Tom does is put a mast over his face, blinding him. Then taking the spear from a statue of a master of the beast called Bard, who was highly praised in the village, pins Karadin to the pins Raptex to the floor by one of his wings, and basically forces him to surrender, which Raptex just easily surrenders. And that's it. And the bad thing is, the story's actually good. I like the story. I was like, okay, it's going to be great. It's a big mountain adventure. Great. I wish we did. Okay. If we had had a fight on the mountains and then had a final fight, which wasn't as good as the first fight, but at least it was still good. This would have been better than Gorog. But it's not. Not only do we barely get a fight with Raptex, what we could have had time with, we settled with a fight that doesn't even happen. And I just think the biggest problem with this book is that not only is the fight pointless, it's useless. And yeah, that's all I got to say about Raptex. If I tell you, like, I was really looking forward to this beast. I really was. And I'm disappointed. The total for Raptex is tied for the lowest score with Sora. Even though I think this book is much better than Sora. Is 12 out of 30. The fact that you've got a beast, and the one I was most looking for, is tied score-wise with the other lowest score for a beast. I would not have believed you. But what do you know, it happens. But anyway, let's move on. Because thankfully, I'm all happy now because I get to talk about the final book. Now, yes, so, time to talk about the final beast, Gargantua, the Silent Assassin. First up, I have to say, what a brilliant name. Being called the Silent Assassin, Gargantua definitely is one of the most coolest titles of a Beast Quest book. Ability, oh yeah, design I gave a 9. I love how it's just a big metallic snake. I love the horns. I love the detail on all over her. I love the horns. I love how you can see the tongue. You can see how it's made of stone. I love how the eye kind of looks a bit like a keyhole. I need to get it like really close. And I don't know if you can see it even then. Yeah, there. See, it kind of looks like a bit of a keyhole. And just, you can see her like hook, her like little trident tail in the back, really cool. Abilities I gave a 9. Where do I even begin? Okay. Venomous fangs, which is expected. Being made of metal is very durable, very resistant, armor-wise. Oh my god. Sharp teeth, very agile. Has manipulation ability, being able to manipulate anyone wearing the ring, and also just manipulate people in general. Mind controlling people. And yeah, manipulation, being able to manipulate them into their biggest desires. Mind control. And there is one more which it does link to them. I can't think of it right now. But yeah. But overall, that is really good. And the fight I gave a 7. It basically, we get that fight with Karadin and Tom, and I'm happy to say it's much better than whatever they were prepping up in Raptex. Great, and Tom chopping off, nearly said Raptex, chopping off Karadin's hand, and Karadin just decaying into dust. It's a great end to a great villain. But then Gargantua manipulating Tom and mind controlling him to put the ring on, which he does. And then he goes out, and I believe he goes to harm Eleanor. And Silver and Storm and Eleanor know something's up. But Tom manages to fight the demons in his head, and he takes the ring, and I think he destroys it. I believe he does. And then Gargantua bursts in, and we get a fight with her. It's not that long, but it's fine. Because then, and also in this book, he takes Karadin mind controls Epos. And we get a fight with Epos versus Gargantua. In an image that is strikingly similar and gave off Mexican flag vibes with the eagle carrying the snake. I'm pretty sure it was to mirror that. But the ending, man. When Epos and Gargantua fight, Epos, with all her strength, lifts up Gargantua and says to Tom and makes it clear that she's going to go into the Stone Wind Volcano with Gargantua, hoping to kill Gargantua, and she's not going to rebirth. Basically, Epos sacrifices herself. And she goes and she dives into the volcano, taking Gargantua with her, and Gargantua, of course, burns to death in the lava, killing her. But Epos basically sacrifices herself. And it's really sad. But it's also a bit like, And at the end, we get a funeral service for Epos, and everyone's left alone. Tom touches the thing, but he senses Epos, and it ends with him basically saying, one day, the flame bird will rise again. And it's a great way to end it off. However, it's kind of obvious that Epos will live because, one, she's a phoenix. 2, we know she can be rebirthed in the Stonewind Volcano, so she can't die. And 3, they wouldn't kill off Epos. Out of all the good beasts, if they had to die, might be Epos, but I highly doubt that they would kill off Epos. They can kill off characters, but they can't kill off Epos. But if we ignore that part, it's a great finale to a good series. And Gargantua, oh my goodness, coming off of Raptex, this, and it's a reason it's in my top 50 Beast Quest books of all time. When I first read this, I absolutely loved it. Didn't like it as much as I do now. Now I love it a lot more. But there's that. And the total for Gargantua, same as another snaked beast from the last series, being Malik's, 25 out of 30. Solid. It's a great finale, like I said. One of the best snake beasts. And honestly, I like the fact that, because Karadin all along was pretty much being controlled by Gargantua. So I like the fact that, in a way, Gargantua, the beast, like with Zircon, was the true villain of the series, which I really liked. I really like the fact that, like, Karadin is the main villain. He is the villain of the series. But it's Gargantua that is the overarching villain of the series, which is what I really like. It's really good. But yeah. But now, for the total for the series. The total for Series 27, The Ghost of Karadin, is 76 out of 120. £16 points higher from being half. So, yeah. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you'd have asked me about a year or two ago, what did I think of this series? I said it's okay. But it could have been much, much better. And like I said, I do think this series is good. The story is great. The villain is amazing. And the beasts are good. And my only disappointments really with the series comes from Raptech. Had Raptech just had a fight, this series would have been really good. Not the best still, but it would have been really good. It could have been much better. Like I said, I love the story. I love the villain. I love the fact we get an old generation vibes from Tom, Eleanor, Silver and Storm going on a quest. I love the fact that Silver gets his moment to shine. I believe Storm gets a moment to shine. I love the cameos from the Beast, Epos, Arctur and Tagus. It was great to see them. I love an old-fashioned quest. I like all of this. And I think overall, a traditional Vantian adventure, it did really well. By the way, sorry if I'm being a bit random. It's just because I'm trying to say something. So, yeah. It's a great tradition of Vantian adventure. It's really good. Really good. It's good. But it's a series that I really have a strange relationship with, purely because of how I felt about it over the past few years. I have a much better relationship than I did back then. But really, when I think about this series, only 3 beasts are good. Or a bit better than good. But there's one that does drag it down, which you're going to know because now we're going to get into the ranking. Which, yeah, I'm just going to be careful because I try my best not to reveal what's what. I mean, sometimes it is really obvious, but heck, why not? So, yeah. Time to rank these books from worst to best. And without further ado, sorry, just had to check the time. And without further ado, I think you all saw this coming. My least favourite, which I'm very disappointed in, is Raptech's The Sky Hunter. This was the beast I was most looking forward to. It could have been an improvement over Big Rash, who I already loved. I was so excited. You want to know how excited I was for this beast? In year 7, I went... In year 7, I spent my times dreaming about Series 7 Series 2027 because it was coming out at the time. I spent year 7 dreaming about how good Raptex is going to be and how he's going to be my number 1 and how he's going to have great abilities. He's going to have a great fight and he's going to be my new favourite of Beastcrest. Yeah, I was very excited for this book. But sadly, it basically disappointed. All that hype. When I finished reading this book, all hype, all excitedness I had just went. And I lay there after I finished reading thinking, why and what the flip happened? So yeah, Vigrash is still the best Griffin beast. And the sad thing is, it's not really that hard to make this beast good. Just give him a really good fight, and I would have put him, honestly, I would have put him over Gorog. But yeah, Raptex is last place, and honestly, I could not agree more. Which, spoilers, but third place is Gorog, the Fiery Fiend. Taking a big leap up in quality, Gorog is a great starting book. Even though he has very simple abilities, the fire one does stick out. Having a Varkul as a beast is really great. I love seeing them around. And the fight, it was nothing special, but I do love the tension it had with Eleanor not being able to breathe. Basically having to climb up into a tree because of the smoke, basically causing a forest fire. And Gorog got a pretty good death, I think. I think. Also introduces Karadin. Second place is Devourer the Deathfish. Now this was originally my favorite of the series because of all I've said about it and all the praise I've given it. Because I originally thought that number 1 wasn't as good. However, upon my reread, it did go down to second place, but I still love this beast. Also, taking a massive leap up in quality. I love Devourer so much. I love her abilities. Her design is really unique. Even though it's just being a giant piranha, it is a really unique design, and the fight was good, and I had so much fun. And like I said, Silver gets his moment to shine, which was really cool. We get to see Arcto, we get to see Taggers, and it's just really great to see this water beast. Honestly, and the fact that it was originally my favorite says how much I really enjoyed it. And like I was gonna say, for this water beast to be in my top 50, just shows it. But of course, number 1, you probably guessed, was Gargantua the Silent Assassin. It's a great finale to this series, and one of the best snake beasts, one of the best finale beasts. Love the whole being the overarching villain of the series. It's a great end to an amazing villain being Karadin. Sad ending to Epos. And I love the whole Tom being mind control, the manipulation. There was so much that happened in this book, and it was a really great read from beginning to end. The only reason I didn't like it originally was because of the fight, but I reread it and I realised the fight doesn't need to be as long. It is actually really satisfying the way it is. So yeah, Gargantua hoists the series up a lot. I mean, score-wise, her and Devourer. Yeah, I think standing out-wise, her and Devourer, of course, are the two that stand out the most in this series. And Gargantua leads that. But yeah, that was series 27. I mean, coming off of one of my absolute favourite series has been 26. Having this series, like I said, I do think it is a good series. It has a great story. How many times am I going to say it? Has a great story, an amazing villain, has good beasts, and it has a great old generation vibes in it with a simple Avantian quest. The only problems I have with the series, and if I had to say any others, because I know I've just been bullying Raptex, but yeah, Raptex is the biggest disappointment in the series. He is the one that has the problem with the series, but I do admit the fact that the problems with the series is because of a beast fight. Is it a bit much? Yeah, but maybe that is the inner child in me wanting more, which I honestly did. Is it the best Beast Quest series? Well, no, not by a long shot, but do I still think it's a good series? Do I think I'd honestly reread it again? Well, obviously, because, which announcement, by the way, as you've seen on Adam's channel specifically, because Lucas has done a few, I am going to be doing retrospectives of the Beast Quest series and basically giving my the perspectives are basically my updated opinion on these beasts, on the series, because in those years since I uploaded that very first video of the Beast Quest Series 1 review, you best believe there's several beasts. There's several beasts that have changed their position. Like, honestly, some of these rankings, how I rank these beasts and my opinions on them, they're not going to be the same as what I used to think. Some of them are going to be for good. Some of them are going to be for bad. I might have hated a beast before, but I might like it now. But yeah, I'm going to be doing retrospectives, but I'm only going to be doing that after I finish the Series 31 review. When that's done, and also because it's going to take time because I need to reread all the series, except for the recent ones. Like, the recent ones I probably won't need to reread because I've still got a good memory of them. So there's that. So yeah, I'd probably, to be honest, I would probably say from Series 1 up to Series 29 of the early series is only to reread. 30 and 31. I won't need to reread. I'd probably have to read one book in Series 30, but that's about it. But yeah, so after I do the Series 31 Beast review, I'm going to be doing retrospectives to finally give my updated opinions on these series, so we can move forward. And yeah, I might as well say I've got a bunch of announcements to make coming up. So, Battle of the Beasts. I am going to be uploading the summary of Battle of the Beasts as a whole. I know I'm a few years late. However, I still need to wrap it up and finish it. But also regarding Battle of the Beasts, there's going to be a new tournament coming out. In fact, there's going to be two new tournaments. One of them is going to be a very short one. But the other one's going to be longer. Much longer. You'll see what I mean when I get around to it. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing some more Sequest stuff. Going to finish off the Battle of the Beast summary. And I think all I need to say is, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Press that notification bell down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.